Don't be so dramatic, right? Come on. We're surely not going down the Chinese Communist Party's path of diminishing individual liberty. Not us. I mean, we're liberals in the United States. We're all about civil liberties, right? Ha! That's hilarious. Let's do a little comparison here of China versus the United States. I want you to, now here's how we're going to go through this. I want to read these headlines, and in some cases, little screenshots from the pieces. And then I'm going to put up another headline. We're going to do China first and then the United States second. And you'll notice one thing. The headlines sound awfully similar. And if the headlines were reversed, in other words, one story was about the U.S., the other story was about China, and then they were reversed, it would sound still like the same story. So here's number one here. This will be in the show notes today. If you want to access our newsletter show notes, go to bongino.com/newsletter. It's free. Please subscribe. FoxNews.com. What is China's social credit system? Bradford Betts, published May 3rd. China has a social scoring blacklist, Joe? Gosh, that sounds really bad, doesn't it? Here's what it is. China's social credit system is a government program being implemented nationwide to regulate its citizens' behavior based on a point system. Under the system, citizens are ranked in different areas of civil life using data collected from court documents, government or corporate records, and in some cases, citizen observers. That sounds very, very bad. I don't think if I was a liberty-loving patriot, I would really like that. A social scoring system where China, the Communist Party, can blacklist people if they don't meet certain metrics from the government spying on them. Court documents, you got a traffic ticket in China, you lose 10 points in your scoring system. You post it on Chinese social media, something criticizing your local government officials, that's minus 10. Citizen observers said Joe Armacost, he sounds like a dissident. I don't like this guy talking and speaking out against communism and socialism. 10 more points gone from Joe. All of a sudden, Joe's at a negative 30. Oh. Joe can't get a car loan in China. Joe can't buy stocks in China. Joe can't get a job in China because of a social scoring system. That's definitely not happening in the United States, Joe. Is it? Because here's a Wall Street Journal article I thought was just fascinating. This is from February 9th, 2021. Providing timely ESG information is becoming more crucial for CFOs. Analysts and investors rely on data when evaluating a company's outlook and creditworthiness. An ESG score? Wait, is this a story about China's social credit scoring? No, this is a story about the United States and businesses doing the exact same thing. You doubt me? From the Wall Street Journal story. They call these ESG scores, sustainability, environmental scores, ESG scores for companies. Companies are doing what the Chinese Communist Party does for them. They don't need the Chinese Communist Party. From the Wall Street Journal. Providing frequent updates about the sustainability of their businesses is becoming more crucial for finance chiefs as analysts and investors increasingly rely on this information when evaluating a company's outlook and its creditworthiness. Here's the key line coming up next. Pay attention to the yet here. Not the Yeti, the yet. This is not a search for the abominable snowman. Pay attention to the word yet. There aren't yet sweeping global regulatory frameworks that force swaths of companies to report their performance in terms of these ESG scores. Though certain exchanges, Joe, and governments are making ESG disclosures mandatory. But even without widespread regulation, there's an incentive for executives to disclose this data.
Dude.
Liberals. Yeah, we're not anything like China. Social scores and blacklists for people. Yeah, we're doing the same thing here with these ESG scores for companies. That's different. It's the free market doing it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Free market that's more powerful, by the way, than the Chinese government in some respects. Nah, we're nothing like China. All right, Dan. So there's a scoring system, dreaded air quotes, for the citizens that we're taking the Chinese model and implementing it here in the United States for businesses. But it's really not that bad. Don't exaggerate this one case. Oh, no. I never, ever produce receipts on just one case. You need multiple pieces of evidence, right? That's how you build the case. So let's compare China versus the U.S. in this second segment, too. So here's an article in The Atlantic about the Chinese surveillance state, how they spy on their citizens. The Atlantic, China's surveillance state should scare everyone. The country is perfecting a vast network of digital espionage as a means of social control with implications for democracies worldwide. That sounds really scary. Surely we're not doing that here. Sorry, wrong show if you thought I wasn't going to produce evidence that we're doing that here too, in conjunction with our big tech, liberal, big business overlords, the Eddie Brock Venom symbiote. It's all a big symbiote. They can't exist without one another. Article we discussed the other day by the great Alam Bakari at Breitbart, who's been all over this topic. Microsoft and friends want to destroy online privacy. They want to spy on you online kind of sounds like what the Chinese Communist Party is doing to its citizens now. We don't need the Chinese Communist Party here. We've got the big tech, liberal, big business Eddie Brock Venom symbiote. From Bakari's piece. Remember this gem from the other day? And by gem, I mean piece of coal. According to Microsoft's press release, it's partnered with several other organizations to form the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity, the C2PA. Put simply, the purpose of this organization is to devise a system whereby all content on the internet can be traced back to its author. You mean like surveillance? The press release states it will develop these specifications for common asset types and formats, meaning videos, documents, audio, and images. Thought you'd be able to go online and not have the government and the big tech government, big business symbiote spy on you? You were wrong. Come on, Dan. Those are just two examples of the surveillance state in China versus the surveillance state in the United States. Chinese social scoring blacklist system. You get a score versus the U.S. doing the same thing to businesses. But I'm still not worried because I'm a liberal and I've got a skull 6 feet thick and facts don't really penetrate. It's like a lead blanket for an x-ray. You're going to have to show me something else. Okay, I will. Don't worry. That's what I'm here for. Here's an online outlet called Quartz. Quartz reporting on NGOs and basically charities as well under threat in China's latest crackdown against foreign forces. So what is China doing? Well, from this Quartz piece, they're cracking down China on charities and NGO non-governmental organizations and that kind of stuff. A new law targeting foreign NGOs is effective as of January 1st, requires groups to submit themselves to greater government control if they want to continue working in China. They must find government sponsors, register with the police, and submit annual reports on their financing, among other requirements. Ooh, that sounds bad. China cracking down on charities and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, making them register with the government and surveilling them. I don't know, Joe, but that sounds really terrible. Yeah. Combine it with the surveillance state and the social scoring system we're implementing here in the United States, copying in many cases the big business, big tech, liberal, their golden calf of China, copying them, worshiping them, chanting at the foot of the Chinese Communist Party golden calf. Don't worry, LeBron James said it's okay. LeBron James said it's okay. You got to chant when you worship China, like the liberals. You need that chant. What was the Raiders of the Lost Ark chant? I always get to remember in the desert where they're digging and they're looking for the ark and they're all chanting. Gosh, I always forget how that goes. Think a second. How is it? I chanted it one time on the show, remember?
Yeah,
we're going to have to go with the generic. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The generic. Where the liberals kneel before their Chinese gods, small g, and overlords. Wow, you guys got a cool social scoring system to spy on people and give them a score? How do we do that here? You're surveilling your citizens online? How do we do that? You're cracking down on charities and NGOs? How do we do that too? Well, Philip Stutz has the answer at this article at The Federalist. Big tech censorship is now hitting completely non-political businesses and nonprofits. This is not a joke.
Oh.
This is not a joke. These are real headlines. These are real headlines. So our liberal overlords who worship the golden calf of China, the Chinese Communist Party, they look, because they're communists themselves. They are our liberal overlords. They love communism and socialism and authoritarianism. The radical left loves fascism like Antifa, which is a pro-fascist group despite their name. They emulate their tactics. China's cracking down on charities and NGOs. How do we do that here? Go to our big business, big tech overlords too. They'll help us out. But nothing to worry about, libs. You're the useful idiots you've always been.